So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about and installing the Renogy 200W Shadowflux series solar panels. I'm going to be putting two of these on the roof, so I'll get 400 watts, hopefully. I mean, it's up there, but potentially 400 watts. So just testing these out in the driveway with an EcoFlow. I just set these up, plugged them in. I'm getting almost 180 watts just as it is. It's a nice day today. High clouds, maybe a little filtered sun, but for the most part, like, it's almost unobscured sun. So I should be expecting high numbers today. I put a little tilt on this just to lift it up. And you can see I get up to 200 watts. I'll actually exceed 200 watts, which that's pretty sweet that the panel says it's a 200 watt panel and then also can achieve it with like a little bit extra. I think it goes up to 203 total. That 203 is the highest I saw anyway. So good. The panel works. I tested the other panel too, just to make sure that it worked. So the reason I went with the Shadowflux panels is because they're supposed to work in partial shade. You know, we got things on our roof that shade our panels a little bit, so I kind of shaded like a quarter, and I'm still getting 70 watts. You know, it's not like a 1-to-1. Like if you shade a quarter of the panel, you lose a quarter of your power. It's not quite that way, but you don't lose all your power. Older solar panels could lose everything just from a little bit of shade, so that's good that I'm still getting something. And then I just went ahead and included or blocked like 50%-ish almost. And I'm still getting some electricity. Like I said, not 1-to-1, not 50 blocked. I still get 50 out. It's less than, but I'm still getting something, which is kind of nice. But a good reason to do parallel panels anyway, even with these, since I'm doing two panels. So I got the wind fairing off of my roof rack. I'm going to get this solar panel taken off. It's held on by these brackets, and there's one bolt in the panel with a nut, which is hard to access, you know, and then there's a bolt here with a nut on top. So the easiest way is just take lap sealant off that nut right there and get that unscrewed. Now it's a little bit of a cooler day, so it'd probably be easier if it was warmer, but just pick at this, get enough of that exposed so you can put a wrench on it. Once you can put a wrench on it, just start kind of working it. Just start loosening it. It's going to push the lap sealant out of the way. You just pick it off as you go. But this is the easiest way, like the least amount of struggle. So just take it off by the brackets down here. And then once you have the nut off, you can just lift this up. Maybe have to slice at your lap sealant a little bit to lift it up. These panels have a recall on them, and it was because of a missing washer, and mine are missing that washer, so mine would be affected by that recall. So good thing I'm taking these off before they end up flying off. But they survived 3 years, so I guess I did good. Now what you'll got up here, you have this rail, and it's going to have this like stem sticking up in it. It can't really fall out, but it can move around. Then there's a nut that just holds your panel to that little stem. So I'm going to cut those stems off, put the self-leveling lap sealant down. You can see I kind of like went through some areas that might have been a little like flaky. I kind of scraped them out, cleaned them, and put more lap sealant. And then the other side I haven't got to yet, but you can see where I cut those little stems off just to make it like a little more flush. Not a big deal if the stems were still there though, because they're not going to get in the way of anything. Now this is the panel that was on the roof, the 190 watt Go Solar, Go Power, I can't remember what it was. It's getting like 160, so it is a 3-year-old panel, so it's probably kind of diminished a little bit. I lifted it to see if I could get a little more electricity out of it, and really I just got less. You know, I saw 166 for a second, so it can't quite do the 190 watts, but maybe it's because of age. I'm not really for certain, you know, at this point. But so it's a worthy upgrade. I should get more electricity with two panels up there, 400 watts total. And then just to show what I was talking about earlier, like older panels, if you put them in the shade, you could lose everything. So I just kind of blocked a little bit of this one, like a third of it, quarter to a third, and I got nothing. There's no electricity. So that's just the way that older panels behaved. Newer panels are getting a little bit better at bypassing the blocked out parts, but that's a good reason for the upgrade. Now, brackets. I got Renogy's bracket, and then I ordered this one from Flatline Band Company. A little pricey, but better built. I didn't like the feeling of the Renogy bracket. It's for the same thickness, the Renogy bracket just feels a little flimsy. So I was a little worried having this on the roof. That was a correct orientation, but I'd probably mount it upside down like this, so I'd get like a little bit of a recessed like look to it. Then the flatline one, you can flip it either way. It doesn't matter, but I'm going to recess it, just that halfway recessed. Looking at it with a 40/40 crossbar, which is what I have on the roof, the Renogy brackets didn't quite line up with our holes. They were just slightly too far. So when I went to, if I'd go to tighten these down, it would end up kind of pushing the bracket either a little off the crossbar, so it's not like really tight against the crossbar, or I'd have to drill these out to line it up better. So another reason to go with the flatline one. The flatline bracket, it has adjustability, so I'll be able to make this flush onto the 40/40 crossbar, so I'm happy with that. And also, like I was saying, the flatline one, even though it's a smaller bracket, it feels stronger than the Renogy. It's even heavier. So I wanted to see how much heavier it was, so I went upstairs, put them on the scale. This is the Renogy version. You know, it's a bigger bracket, 1.2 or 1 pound, 2 ounces. And then the flatline one, smaller in size, but almost twice as heavy, 2 pounds, 1 ounce. So they must have just used a higher quality or stronger aluminum, I guess. So I'm gonna go with those for sure, for certain. So I got one panel up here. So I had to use an extra 40/40 crossbar. I'll put links to all the stuff I have to order to make this work, in case you're doing the same. I couldn't use the light bar because that one gets in the way, so I couldn't mount it on that one's crossbar. That would have been sweet if I could have shared crossbars, though. I had to buy an extension cable, so I just used the Renogy's extension just to make it all the way to the splitter, and I'd used a splitter on the wire so that my panels are parallel rather than series. This way, if one panel is in shade, the other panel still gets full output. That way it's not affected. And I got the other panel up here, turned the battery on. It's always a hold your breath moment, but turn the battery on and no alarms, no flashing red lights or nothing. It's charging, it's working, so that's always a good feeling. Looking at it, I got both panels side by side, which is awesome because it doesn't affect the back of the van at all. I still have my fan and my air conditioner and my little decking will go back on. So you can see there's just like a little sliver of light on that panel up there, mostly in shade, but I'm still putting out almost 5 amps. So at least I know the things are working. I'll just wait till tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's going to be sunny and we'll test this again. So next day, high clouds, a little bit of filtered sunlight, but for the most part, it's pretty bright out here. So let's just check and see what kind of output we're receiving. And it's actually like pretty good. So 14 to 15 amps. I actually realized later that I left the inverter and the Starlink on, but so doing pretty good. Now let's test it out. So I'm up here. There was a stormy day, so I had to wait a couple days, but put blankets on this so there's no power. I'm running the batteries down a little bit. I'm using the Coleman mock air conditioner. On fan only, this thing's taken almost 30 amps just to run the fan, not even air conditioning. It's kind of chilly, but as the sun was up, the van got a little warmer. I could turn the air conditioner on, drawing about 60 amps just to run the air conditioner with no help from the solar panels at all. So that's about how much it's doing on like a nice chilly day. So I got everything turned off. I'm drawing just a little bit of electricity just to run like a couple probably little light bulbs that flash. I uncovered one panel, and this kind of demonstrates why you do parallel rather than series if there's risk of shade. So with one panel, I'm seeing almost 9 amps. So about 100 watts is about how much is coming out of that one panel by itself, that's not too bad. And if you were in series, you'd have 0. So this is why you kind of do parallel. And then uncovered the second panel, I'm seeing almost 19. So maybe 220 watts coming in. Not too bad. So I live in the northern hemisphere, obviously, but I live kind of by the Great Lakes, and it's April. So I can't expect a ton of electricity to come in. And we do have a little bit of a problem. When we mount solar panels on a van, we have to mount them flat. We can't tilt them to the sun. This is midday, 1 p.m. April, and that's how much shadow is being cast up here in northern Wisconsin. So I can't expect a whole lot. I can't expect miracles. So seeing 220 watts is actually pretty decent for this time of year. Now getting up on the roof and just checking things out, I got everything tightened down. This was not a very hard install. So using the 40/40 crossbar, you just kind of line everything up, put it all down. Luckily I did good measurements so everything fit. I'll still be able to put my decking back on in the back, like in front of the Starlink and stuff like that. So I'll still have a little bit of storage area with this setup. The hardest part I did have to cut this little rain shield off on your vent pipe, so I kind of just used one of my 3D printed vent covers, put that down. Bathroom vent, it can still pop up, so that's so now looking at this from the front, this is looking pretty streamlined with this. You have the wind fairing goes up, and then you have a nearly flat roof back to the air conditioner. Obviously, the light bar sticking up a little bit. It's sticking up a little bit. Maybe I'll have to get rid of the light bar. I don't know yet. It kind of makes some noise now. Air conditioner, I'm getting rid of that. We'll be replacing it with a 12 volt. I'm really thankful for this rack that was made by Melopron, because having this rack up here made it so easy with the 4040 aluminum extrusion to just mount stuff up here. So more videos to come. Like I said, that air conditioner is on order, so hopefully I can get that up here. That's it for this video. Like and subscribe for more content, and thanks for watching.